I got a simple question. I forgot the audio, but there was an audio where, it was episode 8, where Karl was talking about doing a return of property hearing. Do you remember that by any chance? I think it was Jesse. I'm not sure. But so it was a return of property hearing, not the actual trial in her lawsuit. So I believe the idea was you have a return of property hearing, and you give the prosecutor the chance to make a claim for the property. In that case, it was apparently the daughter or the son of Jesse. And my question is, could you do the same principle for intangible property? Like say somebody's got a court order that restricts them from leaving the state. So you want your property returned, which would be your freedom or your locomotion. What do you think on that, Bali?
Oh, that's interesting. I've never come across that before.
It's all property, right? Your thoughts, your ability to move around, your earning ability, your innocence, your dignity, your money, your car, your house. It's all property. So I don't know why it wouldn't work for intangible property.
Yeah, I suppose it'd be part of your property and property rights. So, in theory, yeah. I wouldn't. I'm trying to think of a scenario where I've come across where somebody's tried to. I suppose the only example I'm thinking of is where I said to them, was that an order? So,
Bali, I said it to the other man earlier. What did I tell the other man earlier?
Which guy?
The man who was on probation. He wanted to leave the state. What did I tell him?
So he wanted to go get his rescission notice, and it would have ended up being back in jail.
Yeah, and I told him he's the one who wished for the terms and the conditions as the way they are. Right?
Yeah.
Right? So if he's the one who created that document, he's the one liable for it, just go back and change the document.
Change the terms and conditions.
Just change the terms and conditions. It's his contract. It's his baby. It's his property. He's the one who signed the probation. There's nobody else's name on our probation thing other than the man who signed it. He created that probation conditions. Just like John Fall, he created his probation conditions. And now he's going up and down saying, oh, this isn't fair, it's harming you. Who created it? You did. You're getting hurt by your own actions or inactions. Nobody else is hurting you. He's like, oh, I get a claim for my property back. Dude, you took it from yourself, which sounds kind of like a weird Star Trek episode. How could you do it to yourself? But you did. Like I said, no matter who painted that Picasso painting, you got to have 500 people helping him paint that painting. The bottom line is who signed the bottom of that painting? Picasso. Guess who's liable for that? Picasso. Guess who created that document, that parchment, that piece? Picasso. Whose name's on the bottom of John Fall's probation terms and conditions? John Fall's. He created it. He created the terms and conditions. Nobody put a gun to his head and told him to do it.
Karl, in my case, I didn't have a probation agreement. I had a bond. Is that the same thing?
I don't care. I don't care if it's called an ishkabibble. I don't care. I don't care what you call it. Did you sign something?
Yeah.
Then it's yours. Call it an ishkabibble, a kavich. I don't care what you call it. Call it whatever you want.
Now, what if it's signed under threat and duress? I signed it under threat and duress.
Then you go up to the man who put the gun to your head and you say, John Fall, I got a claim against Bob Hoskins for putting a gun to my head and making me sign this document.
Okay.
Got any proof that anybody put a gun to your head?
Well, I told him both verbally and on the paper that I was doing it under threat and duress just to get out of there.
Who threatened you?
The magistrate.
Okay, so you're saying the penguin, the bowling pin, the flagpole, the magistrate, and the armchair threatened you?
No, it's just the man.
A man named Bob, who happened to be the flagpole or the magistrate at that moment of time. You said you got scared by a flagpole?
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
How about
much.
how about a man threatened you? A flagpole didn't threaten you, dude.
Well, that's...
It didn't threaten you. Man did. See, you'll never get this until you understand that you're talking to a man, not a magistrate, not a flagpole, not a bowling pin.
And see, that's the essence of my question. I'm thinking of doing a claim against him, the man, of course. But I was wondering
Why?
if it's a good idea to do it.
For the freedom of your property? You're the one who wished it away.
Well, no, I filed a letter in there the very next day saying that I was threatened into it.
All right. And who did you write it to?
I put a, you know, at the time I didn't know any of your stuff. This is going back a year ago now. This happened to me. So I put...
Hey, Gus. Hey, Gus.
Yep.
Hey, Chico.
Chico. Who's that?
Taco.
Really? Oh, yeah?
The dog.
Yeah, I know.
Did you hear him?
Yeah, I heard him.
Yeah. I was waiting for Gus to say, hey, man, it's Taco. Chico, whatever you call him.
Is he being a good boy?
Oh, yeah. He's calmed way down. He was sleeping right here by my feet when I was talking on the phone.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that diesel just pulled up, so that's why he took off after the diesel. All right, Taco. Yeah, he responds when I call him Taco. Chico.
It's because he always gets food when he answers that.
Oh, yeah, I gave him some steak before, man. He loves me.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, he's 2 inches away from my feet. He's just, like, standing in front of me, like, keeping guard.
Oh, he's getting comfortable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's starting really relaxed. Yeah, I'm working on a call now, man. I'm just pulling the trailing arms out, and I came out from underneath it when I heard John Bolly getting a little bit of a jam there. But Bolly, that's all it is, Bolly. You just ask the people who signed the damn thing. Whoever signed the damn thing, it's their baby. They created it as far as I'm concerned. Bottom line, and all said and done, Picasso could have had 5 understudies helping him paint those ugly, those interesting paintings. And but the bottom line, he's the boss. He's going to sign it. He's going to take credit or liability for it. I don't give a damn who wrote the damn contract. I don't give a damn who put the name on it. Who's claiming that baby? And it's all on you. Is it, oh, they did this. Oh, really? Who did this? You got any witnesses? This guy put a gun to your head?
Well, he did threaten me. He said, if you don't sign this, you're going to jail. He was very clear about it. So,
if you don't sign this, you're going to jail. That's fine. He didn't say, hey, John Fall, you're a man, I'm a man, and I'm going to throw you in jail.
Yeah.
You didn't ask him. He said, how do you have any capacity over your fellow man?
Well, this is all a year ago, so I'm trying to
No, if you have the capacity over you, the defendant, you better believe it, he does. You better believe Mommy could say to the baby, you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to throw you in your playpen and put the top on, and you're going to be behind bars until I say you can out. Can Mommy do that? You better believe she can.
Yeah.
The magistrate do that to you? You better believe he can or she can. Until you set them straight, it's tough. Who cares? Cry and whine all you damn want. Same thing a 3-year-old baby does behind a crib. Cry and whine all you damn care. Mommy ain't going to care. Keep crying and they'll keep you in there longer. Look at Dean Clifford. They'll keep him there forever until he stops whining. Until he learns. Until you guys learn, man. You guys sound like a bunch of whining crybabies.
See, I have a claimant against the man who sometimes acts like a prosecutor.
Uh-huh.
But I was thinking rather than file a whole new claim against the man who sometimes acts like a magistrate, I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone and do a return of property hearing and invite that man who acts like a magistrate into that.
Yeah, I heard the property that you were claiming, your liberty. That's kind of funny.
Well, I was going to say locomotion, but if you know about it.
You're the one who bound yourself. You're the one who put the paper cuffs on you. You're the one who bound yourself with a piece of paper, not them.
Even with the under threatened duress on there?
Under threatened duress of what? Who threatened you?
The man.
And who did you report them to? And tell me that he did something that was out of the customs, out of the practice and policies of what they normally do, 40 hours a week. Tell me that they did something unusual to you that they didn't do to everybody else in their common practice and their common law. They did the same to you as they did to everybody else. They didn't single you out. This is the way they treat everybody. Just like if you were in Saudi Arabia or in Iraq, Iran, you stole an apple, they cut your hand off. You know what? You could bitch and cry and whine, they cut your hand off, but did they do anything out of their customs, policy, practices, or beliefs? No. That's the way it goes there. So, that's the common beliefs, that's the common law of your land. You've got to explain to them that you don't subscribe to those beliefs, and you've got to do it before they chop your hand off, because once they do, hey, what do you want to do about it now? Now you want to complain about it? Next time you go out in public, you better know what public you're walking into. You are in a Queen of Hearts court, you better know how to play the game. You don't want to know how to act in public? You don't want to know how to act with the IRS? Don't play the game. Nobody put a gun to your head and told you to play with the IRS. That's why Harry Reid said it's all voluntary. Because he's right. Nobody ever put a gun to your head and told you to pick up a paper, pen, and ink and write anything. Nobody.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas says it in his book, too. He says everybody who's in prison in this country put themselves there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's nobody else's fault. It's all you. And that's what's being a man. Taking liability and responsibility for everything you don't do. See, everybody will say, oh, you take responsibility for everything you do. No. 99% of the problems you get your ass into is because of what you didn't do. But everybody says, oh, no, you get in trouble for what you did. No. What you didn't do. You didn't think far enough ahead. You didn't figure out the consequences to your actions. There's a lot of things you didn't do. Not what you did do, it's what you didn't do. But yeah, like I said, I just came off the air when I hear Bali getting in a little bit of trouble or somebody giving somebody advice. So yeah, go ahead, man. I'm gonna either mute out or just hang up on myself again. I'd unlock Mark from Atlanta if Mark wants to talk. You can talk, Mark, if you want. Oh, he blocked again. Yeah, let me do him again. There you go, Mark. Sorry about that. I don't know if Mark's working or not. He must be working. Let's do that Toby Lee guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hello.
Yeah, I think he's
Hello.
working.
Hello, Maria.
Yeah, we hear you.
Hello, who's that? Is that Carl or Bali?
That's Bali, man. I'm gonna myself out. But go ahead, Bali. I'm gonna mute up again.
Carl, man, I need to talk to you as well as Bali. I've got some really fascinating stuff. I was the one that put the picture on there of the map and was trying to find the treasure trail in Queen's Bench. Can you remember? I've managed to get to Queen's Bench Division. I've got a claim form in front of me. I managed to get it through. The High Court of Justice, Queen's Bench, all signed, sealed for seven defendants.
Go ahead, Bali, talk to this man, you know what I'm saying? To try to figure out this.
Yeah, keep going. I'm listening to what he's saying. Keep going, Toby.
I just think, I shouldn't have ate nothing, man. I'm exhausted after that.
Mate, I couldn't make it up to see you last week, mate. Sorry, when you was back over in England. I'm up in Crown Court on Monday. This Monday, I've managed to. It's taking over a year to sack my solicitor. I had to go for a psychological assessment because they deemed me that I was mentally unwell to try and keep me under the jurisdiction of the representative. And I've just managed on the 29th of July to get it authorised from the Crown Court that I no longer need representation.
Hey Toby, is there something in the background there with all that noise? What's that noise?
Mate, can you hear me? Is it clear?
I can hear you. I can hear you now. There was like some noise in the background. Didn't know whether it was yours.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. Yeah, no. Basically, I've got. This has been going on since the 27th of March last year, when I had 6 or 7 coppers come round at my house.
Yeah, Bali, that's Toby. It's all the noise he's making in the background.
Yeah, it almost sounds like the police helicopter's there, man. I can just about hear what he's saying.
Yeah, that a farm tractor. So, like I said, tell Toby, we'll unmute him again, but he's got to stop making all that noise in the background because I can't understand a blooming thing he's saying, other than the fact that he's speaking a foreign language. Yeah.
But it sounds like he's from some kind of area as well.
Yeah, go ahead, Toby, but you got to keep quiet in the background, Toby, because we can't hear your question.
I know, mate. I just heard you two talking while I was muted, but I wasn't muted because I just heard you two talking, so I don't know what's going on. Now, basically, this has been going on. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, as long as there's no, as long as you don't, it would sound like you're on a farm tractor or something. As long as you're not on it.
No. I'm on my MacBook Pro. I've got the earphones plugged in and stuff, so hopefully you can hear me okay now. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, just sounds like you're wrestling with a bag of crisps. That's all.
What, really? Okay.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. I've unplugged the earphones. Does that sound better?
Hopefully.
Does that sound better?
A lot better? Yeah, it sounds better. I mean, if you're a female, it would sound even better. But no, we'll tolerate. We'll take it.
Does it sound better now when I had the earphones in? Because I'll plug them back in if you can hear me clearer.
Yeah, we hear you good.
No,
now.
that sounds good. What you're doing now?
Right, excellent. Right, sorry guys. Yeah, no, this has been going on. I'm up in Crown Court on Monday, right, for a pre-trial review. This has been going on for over a year. I had legal representation. I only discovered Wonderland in January this year. So since then, I've been trying to sack my representation, and it's taken me like about 6 months. They sent me for a psychological assessment. I went to court. I wrote to the court and said that I've sacked my representation. Went to the Maidstone Crown Court, stood up. I organised a mention hearing with the Crown, and said, "Well, do you want me to tell the solicitors, or are you going to do it?" They said, "Oh, I will let them know." So I went back to the court the next week. Tried not to give them any jurisdiction anyway. I was in the dock. The judge turned around to the barrister and said, "Have you seen the notice that Toby's put in?" He passed a copy of the notice to the barrister. The barrister has said, "Look, we want to retract our representation from Toby because he's not complying." The judge turned around to me in the Crown Court and said, "Right, I'm going to remand you in custody for a psychological assessment. Take him down." So then they took me down to the cells, and I was, as far as I knew, I was off to prison. And the jailer come down 3.5 hours later and said, Toby said, "The judge wants to see you back up in court." And I was like, "Well, what's that for?" He said, "Toby, everything that's happened to you today doesn't make any sense." So I've gone back up to the court, and the judge has come back out, and he said, "Toby, you do realise why I've remanded you in custody, don't you?" I was like, "My honour, you want the God's honest truth?" "No, I haven't got a clue. I've come here today to sack my representation on an order, on a hearing which I organised." I said, "The representation want to retract the representation from me." I said, "So no, I don't know why you've remanded me." So then he turned around and said, "Well, what I'm going to do," he said, "I'm going to bail you on these conditions. You've got to live and sleep every night at your home address. You've got to go for a psychological assessment, or psychiatric assessment, sorry." And he said, "And you've also got to comply with your solicitors." And that was it. So I got bail. So I cut the middle, long story short. Had the psychological assessment done. He come round to my house. The psychological assessment's been gone in. He's come back to I haven't got a mental illness. I understand the court procedure, and I'm more than capable of representing myself in court. Happy days. So they called it back to court to discuss this results of this psychological assessment. And on the day I couldn't make it, the same as I haven't been able to make the last 4 or 5 court cases at the Crown Court, because I've either had I've been working, been short notice, or this particular time I had a hospital appointment. So it went to the court, released the representation order from my solicitor. The next thing, I've got a letter come through the post on the 4th of August this year, stating that they've released the representation. I've then got another letter saying that I've been listed for a pre-trial review on the 18th of August, sorry, Monday, day after tomorrow. Now, last week I emailed the CPS. I've also emailed the CPS in the Royal Courts of Justice. I've emailed the Crown Court with a disclosure request. I've also put an affidavit of truth in there. I've also put in their removal of rights for the power of attorney for my name in all caps. I've done this to the CPS. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, Paul, no, sorry, mate. No, it's just been done. I want to make sure I weren't cutting out. That was on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I phoned the phone number. No response at all. I physically went down to the Maidstone CPS office with the documentation, with all signed, all thumb printed, with witnesses to hand it in. So I've handed it in to the CPS on Friday, quoting CPR rules.
Hang on a second. I love doing this when people say to me, I'm going to make this really quick, and then it goes on for an hour. Instead of giving you the punchline at the end, I said, can you please repeat that, sir? And everybody gets a big laugh. Usually when you ask, like call up a show like this, you ask us a question, and we'll answer the one question. Yeah. And then you ask another question, and we give you another question. Yeah. Like I said, there's so many things that you did. Like you said, why do you want to represent yourself in court? Why don't you want to present yourself to court?
Sorry, yeah, I know present myself. No, sorry. No, I sit down and present
But I'm
myself.
saying, okay, whoa. Just hang on a second. This is real simple. I'm not going to go over one thing at a time. This is ridiculous. Because, like I said, you just said way too many things. The simple thing is, what is this case about?
It's an allegation. It's a witness intimidation allegation. Someone's made an allegation that I've threatened them verbally, no witnesses, no text message, and off the back of this allegation, 8 officers come around the house. I don't
care if 800 space aliens landed. I asked you a simple question. What is the charges of this case? What's this case about?
Initially, it was over a witness intimidation.
Okay, it's witness intimidation?
Yep. And they've kicked my door in, they've turned my house upside down.
I couldn't care less if they had the Vulcan Enterprise, whatever, come in and beam you up and they raped you. I don't care if they did a proctal exam. I don't care what...
Possession of firearm, handling stolen goods.
I don't care. Dude, I don't care. No, I couldn't care less. I'm asking you a very simple question. What was this case?
Possession of firearm, handling stolen goods.
Okay, so the case is intimidating a witness, right?
No, possession of firearm, handling stolen goods.
Okay, so it's having a firearm and intimidating a witness, right?
No, possession of firearm, handling stolen goods.
Okay, so you're not, so your charges are possessing stolen goods and a firearm.
Possession of firearm, handling stolen goods, yeah.
And having stolen goods, okay. 2 separate charges.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, stolen goods and
handling stolen goods and possessing firearm.
Okay, good. So, like I said, it's 2 different charges, or it's 1 charge?
Well, it's one case. Basically,
I didn't say how many counts were inside of the indictment.
Yeah, 2 charges, two separate charges.
2 charges of stolen goods, and 1 is for possession of firearm.
One handling stolen goods, one possession of firearm.
Okay, all I'm trying to say is, what does this have to do with intimidating a witness?
Exactly.
Okay, I thought you said you were charged with intimidating a witness.
No, they've come round to my house to question me over an alleged witness intimidation. And they've come around to kick my doors in and turn my house upside down. Whilst they looked down through my house, they found a can of pepper spray, Section 5 1B firearm, carries a maximum of 5, and they've also took 4 laptops out of the house, and one of them's turned out, they said that it's stolen, even though all 4 come from the same place. So my argument is, they had no warrant, they had no right to even come into my property.
Well, when they came to your house to question you, what did you do?
Well, they kicked my door in. I asked them for a warrant. They said, we don't need a warrant. It was under Section 32. We're searching your house.
Okay, and they said they didn't need a warrant because under what is Section 72?
No, Section 32. Section 32.
What is that? What is Section 32?
Section 32 is to stop and search premises in relation to the allegation. Now, the allegation was that I verbally threatened someone. No, I didn't phone him, didn't text him, didn't email him, didn't call him. It's a hearsay, basically. This guy has said that I walked up to him and threatened him.
Dude, I don't care. Dude, I don't care. I hope you threatened the crap out of him. I don't care. I couldn't give a crap.
All right. Well,
Dude, I don't want to mute you, man. You just got to chill out, okay? I just want there's very simple things I try to teach people. One man came into your house, and even like Bali did in his case, he did the old Nuremberg thing. Just because there's a piece of paper or a section of the German Nazi code that says any woman, man, or child that's a Jew, shoot him in the head and throw him out in the gutter. Just because it says to do that, just because Section 32 says that, in a German code world, when the war is over, guess what? They all hanged anyway for just putting a bullet in the kid's head and throwing him out in the gutter. So it doesn't matter what some stupid section says. One man can't trespass upon another man's property. He can't do it. So you got to make a claim against that man who came kicking in your door. And when you try to make a claim, that a man is, dude, would you stop?
Right.
Okay, why don't you tell me what I'm going to say? Come on, Mr. Psychic. Come on, Connacht the Magnificent. Tell me what I was going to say next, what you should do.
No, I was just saying that I've made a claim.
Yeah, okay, where? Where did you make this claim?
Queen's Bench.
And what happened? They tried to get over the Queen's Bench division?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. High Court Justice.
Would you just stop? I know, I heard this shit a billion times from you people. Did you just say who transferred my case over to Queen's Bench division? Who was the man or the woman who did it? And then you find the man or the woman and said, look, is this Crown Court? Is this a Crown Court you're bringing me into? Yes. Well, you do know I'm suing a Crown official, right? You know I'm suing a Crown officer of the Crown, right? And you're trying to bring me into Crown Court, right? What's the odds of a non-Crown officer, myself, winning in a Crown Court against the Crown?
Pretty slim.
Right. So you say to them, there's the reason why we have two courts running in this country. We have the Crown and we have Queen's Bench, common law. In case the Crown gets out of hand, where is a man or a woman to seek redress when the Crown has done wrong to a man who created the Crown? When that little monster is getting out of control, where do we go for justice? Obviously, we're not going to go into the Crown Court and say that the Crown members are doing us wrong so a Crown judge could judge whether the little monsters actually, his fellow monsters actually did man wrong. That's ridiculous. That's why we have two separate courts going on in England. We have the right to go before the Queen, to go before the people in the country. We got that right. We don't have to go into a Crown Court if we evoke our right as a man. So you guys got to get this through your skulls. Ask Crown Court, is this Crown Court? Yes. You do know that I'm making a claim that a Crown official has done me wrong. Yes. You are a Crown official as well, Judge, right? Yes. And I'm not a member of the Crown, correct? Well, correct. But what's the odds of me getting a fair and impartial trial in front of Crown by a Crown judge that I'm making a claim a Crown officer has done me wrong, a non-Crown member? I'm going to lose. No matter what I say, you're going to cover your buddies behind. You're going to let your buddy do whatever he wants to do. So that's why we have two separate courts going on here in England. The one that we take the people, the man or woman can go before Queen and country, and Crown.
Yeah.
So until you guys get this through your skulls, you guys are just always going to be battling the Crown and Crown Court with Crown officers and Crown judges and Crown barristers and Crown. You're going to get clogged.
Which is exactly the reason why I went up there and spent nearly 50 minutes trying to find this Queen's Bench. I was
That's
sat in front of that
it's there. It's there. Okay. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you what. What if the Queen of England wanted to open a court in a public courthouse? What would she do? She'd walk through the front door, morning, noon, and night. She'd say, I'm here. I got business to tend to. Open up this damn courthouse and see the judge and the magistrate, and let's get the show on the road, right? That's what she'd say. And everybody in that little rugby county, the little rugby councils or little Liverpools or little, Yorks or wherever you guys are, they'd open up the courthouse and let the Queen in, right? Where's Queen's Bench? Wherever she says it is. Where's your court? Wherever you say it is. You've got to know how to occupy a public building, just like she knows how to walk into any public building and make a claim that she needs this public building to carry on business.
Right. The
Queen's business, the people's business. You've got to be able to walk into a public building and say, I've got the people's business needs to be heard. I have some matter, for the people to hear. I'm one of the people. This is my court. This is my public building. I've got business here. I'm going to open up shop, and I'm going to run this place. So, court clerk, I need you to do this, and this. Senior judge, magistrate, I need you to assemble this, and this for me. And you've got to give them the orders. You guys got to know how to act like a king or a queen. If you don't, they're not going to help you. It's not their job to help you. It's not their job to teach the Queen how to be a queen. She knows how to walk in there and say, where's the officer of this court? Where's the office? Where's the court clerk? Where's the magistrate? I need this court assembled. Magistrate, you go seek the jury members for me. I need 12. Chief judge, give me set me, I need a witness. Give me the witness. Okay, get me this list of witnesses. Go get the sheriff's department to go. I don't know whether you guys have sheriffs or not. Say, go summons these witnesses to appear. Court clerk lady, issue summonses. Here's the summons. I'll create the orders, and you, dispatch them, forthwith. You guys got to know how to run into a public courthouse and use it and work it. If you don't know how to use it and work it, they don't have to spoon feed you and say, oh, well, okay, then why should they? They're going to win every single time. Why would I teach you how to beat me when I got such a great game going on?
Well, this is what I said to the master that I went down to see that signed this claim in front of me. She said to me, what's going to happen is that they're going to come back and say that they're acting out the duty.
Yeah, you're talking in a tunnel, man. What did you just say? It just echoed real bad. Yeah, it sounds like you're talking to us in a squash room.
When I'm in the police,
yeah, he's breaking up real bad.
I said, let me try and plug this earphones back in, see if that works.
No, I heard you say, see if that works. It just sounded like you in a racquetball or squash room, just like it was echoing.
Right, yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
But all I'm trying to say is what, you folks got to know how to move a public, it's a public building. Anybody has the right to access that public building. And like I said, I did that with Bali when I did that video with me and him going into Queen's Bench at 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, whatever the hell it was. I said, I'm going in here. I got business. What? I said, if the Queen was knocking on the door, what would you do? They said, let her in. I said, she works at the pleasure of the people. Guess what, sir? I'm one of the people. I'm coming in. And I came in. He said, I'm going to get the head security down here. I said, God bless you. I said, because he's the one who's going to make the magic happen. He knows what's going on. He knows what I'm telling is the truth. So until you know how to walk in there,
this paper ain't worth the paper it's written on there.
It's like I said, it's like playing a game of chess or something, like playing a game of Go. If you don't know all the rules, you're going to look awfully stupid playing a game. And they're going to say, you're not a chess master. What are you doing playing against us? We're masters at this. You think you're as good as us? That ain't going to work. You got to know how to walk into it.
Let's forget about that then for the minute, because that's on the back burner for me at the moment. What's more prominent at the moment is that I'm in Maidstone Crown Court on Monday, and I'm litigating in person. This is my first hearing as being a litigant in person with SACMA representation. They've fast-tracked a pre-trial review on Monday. I've been asking the CPS and also the Crown Court for all of the case management.
It's a simple question. You just said it. I just said it to you a million times. All you have to say is this Crown Court. And they'll say yes. They'll say, wait a second, I have the right as a man to evoke Queen's Bench. They'll say, excuse me, what? I'm not going to get a fair, impartial trial or hearing in front of Crown. The Crown's prosecuting me. The Crown's judging me. The Crown's charging me. How am I going to get a fair trial in front of Crown? No, I have the right as an Englishman to take my claim before any claim of me doing wrong before Queen and country. Take me before Queen's Bench now. I order you. And see where it goes from there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You said, no, I only have to answer to my fellow man. I don't have to answer to a Crown prosecutor and a Crown barrister, a Crown magistrate, or a Crown judge. I'm not a member of the Crown. I'm not representing anything. I'm a man. Sonya's a man has come forth to make claim of wrong, and here in England, good. If somebody's making a claim I've done something wrong, they'll say no. Nobody's saying you've done anything wrong, sir. That's exactly what they'll say. They'll say, nope. Not one man or woman in this fucking building is saying that you've done anything wrong. And it's like, look, the only duty and obligation I have is to my fellow man to not do any wrong. So if there's any man or woman who's making a claim I've done wrong, I'll be more than glad to entertain him before Queen and country. Until then, I got nothing else to say. And you guys just go on with your Crown's little case because, you know what? You already heard my wish to evoke this before Queen and country. You don't wish to, if you wish to interfere with my right as a man to go before Queen and country, I'm going to hold you liable as a man to another man. You're a man judge. He's a man prosecutor. He knows that I'm not a member of the Crown. He knows the Crown is a creation of man. The creation of man could be is considered a monster. So he knows he's given up his fellow man to a monster, to a machine. And he knows that this monster is going to hurt his fellow man. I'm going to hold you liable for allowing your little creation called the crown cause harm to your fellow man. You got a duty and obligation to your fellow man, not to the crown. A judge has a duty and obligation to the crown, but a man has a duty and obligation to his fellow man, not the crown. And you got to get that through your head that you're a man and you have no duty and obligation to answer any member of the crown. Yeah. But you do have a duty and obligation to answer any man. It's that simple.
Yes, Bob.
It's that simple. So you got to get that through your head. So I guess whatever minute mark this is at the show.
2 minutes, like 2 hours,
2.5. Holy bananas, man. I am not doing this for another 2 hours, dude. I am not doing this. I got time for this in my life.
What time is it there?
Yeah, just go back and listen to what I just said and just try to keep repeating that part over and over and over and over again in your brain until it becomes like, part of you.
Definitely, yeah.
Because like I said, all that other stuff is just gibberish. All that other stuff, like that lady who I helped to get her kids back, she's like, should I get the crown case that they got against me? I said, hell no. She said, 6 inches thick. I said, hell no. I said, it's just going to confuse you. It's just going to make things more and more complicated. I said, when you got your kids back and you got nothing better to do, then go get a copy of the case file for the crown. And she did. And then when she got it, she just said, man, every page she was reading just made her cry even more. She said, if I read this stuff without my kids sitting next to me, she said, they were saying some horrible, evil things about me, I said, yeah, that's why I said to you, don't get your mind wrapped around this crown because they're just there to fuck with your mind. They're just playing words, man. They're word nerds, man. They just live on words. They just live there to fuck with your head with their silly games, their silly word games. And I ain't playing that silly word game. So do as you wish. I'm calling you out as a fellow man. You know what you're doing. You're throwing me to the crown. You know the crown is a corporation. You know your crown is a creation of man.
Yeah. So would you go in there, take his oath? Would you go and accept his oath of office to take the jurisdiction over, so make it your court? So you can then put yourself in a position to be able to talk to him man to man. See, I've got a few different directions what I'm going to go, which I'm going to enter the court in on Monday. I've been through. I'm on the 5th judge now, the 5th High Court judge.
The easiest way to make you people understand is someday they're going to just, like I said, have a one world order, civil code across the whole planet Earth. Yeah. And if you do something wrong in China, it's going to be the same thing as Yugoslavia, same thing in Wales, the same thing in Brazil. It's going to be the same crime, same sentence, same everything. Everything's going to be uniform. Every man and woman is going to be treated equal on planet Earth. And then when they have that capacity to make everybody equal, all that's going to happen is somebody's going to punch this information into a database, and you're going to have like an android judge and an android jury and an android everything, and they're going to be machines looking at you. It's a creation of man. It's just a machine. It's just little monsters, and they're going to sentence you. And you're going to jump up and down then, and you're going to say, wait a second, this is horse shit. Where's my fellow man? Who's saying I've done anything wrong? I say, well, nobody's saying you've done anything wrong, but you broke this code, and the machine is going to sit there and spit out your judgment, and the machine's going to spit out, you got to go to jail, and the machine's going to spit out what they're going to take from you. It's like, you're an effing machine. You're a creation of man. Judge, you're a creation of man. No judge ever created man. Man creates judges. Judges don't create man. I'm a man. I created you. Don't tell me what you're going to do to me. I'm going to tell you whether or not I'm going to allow you to exist. If you cause me any harm, I'm pulling the plug, Judge.
Exactly.
And until you people understand that man created the crown. No crown ever created a man. And until you people learn, you're going to tell them, look, we're going to pull the plug. We're going to pull your charter. You're not going to exist in England anymore if you keep causing harm to man. You're not going to do it. We're not going to allow it. Well, just like I did in, what's that? Who are you looking for? Just like I did when we did that show in England. It's funny. I guarantee that's why the British government and the Canadian government love me, because when I started the show, the first thing I say, what do you people think of your government? And they say, oh, they're all evil, or they're tyrants, or they're all greedy, or they're all corrupt. I said, good. So we all agree a big central government is evil, corrupt, tyrants. Good. Okay, so they're all evil. Okay, so that's making you say that you're all good. Okay, what are you good people doing about it? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's what I thought. So these evil people are working round the clock, morning, noon, and night, and they're doing evil what evil does. They're doing what a spider does, what a snake does, what a crocodile does. They're doing what they're supposed to do. What are you lazy, sloppy people doing about it? Absolutely nothing but whining. I said, so should we go out there and just say, you know what, we need to squash every flea, tick, spider, crocodile, shark?
Carl, trust me, I'm knocking on doors, mate. I'm rocking the boat. I got locked in the fucking Ministry of Defence building the other week up in London.
What I'm saying is that's why the central governments love me, because I'm picking on you people, not them. I'm saying, you know what? She's supposed to be evil. You know what that minister's supposed to be doing? He's supposed to be corrupt. Has anybody met a non-corrupt government official? No. Good. We all agree they're tyrants? Good. Even they'll agree it? Yeah. Okay. Good. They're doing what they're supposed to do. What are you doing as a good man? What are you doing as a good woman? Are you showing them that you understand that this is a public building and you're going to access this public building and you're going to hold court and that you're going to have your neighbors come in here and your neighbors are going to judge them as a fellow man? No. You guys aren't doing anything. And Bali said that somebody's Bali said that somebody's trying to do something up there in Rugby or Coventry, but he said the people who are trying to access the public buildings are just they're just getting drunk. They're bad. You know, what did you say about them, Bali?
Yeah, no, they're just not very organized people. Let's put it that way. And the donations they do get, they're not really doing something constructive with it. They're just drinking with it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
What's that? I don't know about rugby, mate. I'm in Maidstone in Kent in the south east, mate.
What I'm saying is the Crown's got it tight. Everybody's dressed properly.
Carl, I understand that. They've got lots to lose, mate. The way things are going on, they've got a lot of pressure. I've got a friend of mine who's a criminal lawyer up in Manchester, and she was telling me that there's a judge 2 weeks ago up in Liverpool that publicly said that the system is crumbling. Because I'm a litigating person, I'm putting pressure on the CPS. Okay, I understand what you just told me, and I shouldn't give a shit about what the CPS, what the case file is. But I'm just going to say to you what was said. The CPS are under an awful lot of pressure since they took away the legal aid in the country. That the CPS they're only used to normally dealing with solicitors and people in the bar. And they've got them wrapped around their finger because they're on the same level. They're almost sort of like being arse licked by the fucking solicitors because they're the ones that are bringing the claims against everyone. Now they've got the people like me and other litigants in person in the United Kingdom that are dealing with their own case. They've got to see, okay, I'm not underneath necessarily under common law, but under the CPR rules, etc., etc. They're entitled to these statements. They're entitled to these case management files. And the CPS are under so much pressure on them because they're having to deal with what they class as lower class, because they're normally dealing with having the higher authority above the solicitors. Now they've got people like me that are pressing up on me. Now you've got 48 hours. I want that case management file in 48 hours because this is what I've been asking for. I mean, I've been trying to work out. I've got a bit of time. They've pressurised me onto it before going Monday. But what I got told from a criminal lawyer, from how it's being received on the other side, from the likes of me going to them, and there's a High Court judge actually publicly spoke and said that the system is crumbling because of this. So there is change. There is change happening. There is change happening over here.
Well, what I'm saying is, what I said back at the 2 hour and 30-minute mark is very simple. And if you guys got hundreds or thousands of people, Englishmen and English women, to send that to Crown officials, look, we created you, and we've had enough of what you've done. Yeah, and you're liable as a man setting your little monster called the Crown out into the public at large. And the man has to have the ability to redress grievances against the Crown, and who's certainly not going to take it into Crown Court. So it's only going to work one of two ways. Either you're going to let us have, peaceful petition and peaceful grievances, or it's going to get violent. And there's only one of you for every 10,000 of us. So it looks like the odds are pretty well stacked against you, Crown, if you think that the Crown is going to prevail in a violent confrontation. So you should let us all agree to work out some sort of peaceful compromise, because there's 10,000 of us for every one of you. Yeah. So if you don't allow peaceful petition, peaceful redress, it's only going to create a violent revolution. And we're going to have to,
And this is the thing, Carl, and this is what I got when I got this claim. It was Master McCann. She's allowed the claim, and I'll read it out. I'll read it out to you quickly if you want to listen to it. And she allowed this. Now I went back up again to put an amendment on this claim, to put an additional person on there, another name on there. And because that hadn't been put on the system, it was authorised. So I had to go and see another practice master. Now, the practice master I'm going to go and see was Deputy Master Eyre. Now, he's obviously under Practice Master Leslie, who I've seen before as well. Now, Deputy Master Eyre, when I showed him his claim form and said that it hasn't been put on the system, I need you to get authorised me so I can put another name on it. He's read it, and he's gone through it. He said, well, no. Well, these police officers, no, you need to take the commission. You can't take. I said, no, I said, I'm taking these as men. I said, under common law. I said, under common law. No, you need to. I said, you telling me, you deny my right to justice. Well, I said, that's what I've paid for. That's what I've got a fee waiver. I said, that's what I've got. I said, I paid for this. Well, I said, I'll tell you what, give me that paperwork back here, and I'll go and see the master that signed this off. And that's what I've done. But he was trying to reduce it and just try and take my claim completely away from me and try and take it out. Obviously for I, a man, totally claimed the wrong of injury, harm and loss in the form of trespass upon property, land and chattel, intimidation, robbery, assault, battery, false arrest, false imprisonment, kidnap. I require restoration of property and an order of injunction against said wrongdoers and fair and just compensation and cost. I wish compensation to serve as a deterrent and the order to drop all false allegations against I, a man, totally by the police department. I require a judge of high court standing who is able to make a lawful ruling in a common law jurisdiction and a value to be advised by a judge. And that was my claim. That was what I put on the claim for, and that was what was approved. But however, then I went back to try and put the amendment, and the senior or the deputy master said, no. He tried to take it off me to try it out. I said, well, you're going to refuse my right to...
the word that you use with these people is interfere.
Yeah, interfere with my right to justice, yeah.
The big thing is you're asking Crown officers to attack the Crown, and they're not going to do it.
I'm trying to find the way to pass through, and Carl, new to this. It's only January that I've had this new revelation. I've been conditioned, institutionalised by the justice system for over 20 years.
Like I said to you, they know when you know that you're the king and queen, and they know that you know how to access the courts, and they know that you know how to move a court. Now, if you only know 99%, they're not going to toss you in that last 1%. They're not there to teach the king or the queen how to be a king or a queen. It's insulting to the king or the queen. It's insulting to a man to have somebody tell him what to do. It's like, look, I got this covered. I know what to do. This is my public building. I'm going to access this, and this is what I want to do. And this is what I was trying to say with Bali, is that the people have to learn how to use these public buildings. 100% of these public buildings are being used by a private society, called a legal society or called a bar association or called whatever. It's like if we go to a public common park, a common grounds, we go to a public park, and they got something like called Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts that occupy that public park 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they get so brazen and so arrogant that they think they can tell who can and cannot come into that park because they've occupied it for so long, they think it's theirs. And it's like, no, you can't come into this park. We're having our jamboree today, and you're not a member, and you can't come in. It's like, well, wait a second, this is a public park. That's okay. That's fine. That you might be correct with that, but you know what? We're not going to let you in. And that man has got a gun right there, and he's going to keep you out of this park. And you say, this is getting crazy. This is common grounds. This is a common park. This is a common law land. The public built this park 100, 200 years ago. Man built this courthouse brick by brick. Man put his hands and built this. How do you know man exists? Because he built this building. A man created this. This is a creation of man to help fellow man in the future. I'm the man of the future. I want to use this public building for a benefit. And because you people won't allow me to access this building, you're interfering with my right to access something that my fellow man created for my benefit. It's just like a trustee kind of thing. Who left you in charge? Nobody. This is a public building. I'm going to access this public building. I'm not going to cause this public building any harm. If it costs me $100, whatever, to access this building, if that's what's fair and just, fine. Everybody wants to access it. because that clerk lady wants to get paid, the judge wants to get paid, the solicitors want to get paid. Okay, that's fine. 100 quid an hour to access this building, that's fair. That's reasonable. But because, like I said, at one time I said this to one of those practice masters at Bali. I said, what happens if the Crown decides that they're going to say, well, the file a claim is going to be 10,000 or 20,000 quid or 50,000 or, you know, and then man is not going to have the ability to access the courts anymore because he just can't afford it. So then only the elite are going to be able to afford justice or have access to courts. This is ridiculous, I said.
You shouldn't have to pay for justice.
This is a public building.
Yeah.
You know, and if you pay taxes, if you pay taxes in building, they shouldn't have a toll booth at the public parks. They shouldn't have a toll booth at the public courthouse. If you pay taxes, and they say, well, they pay taxes, and well, we give you a court system, we give you public parks, you know, we give you public drinking water. You know, nobody should have to pay for water in England. Nobody should have to pay for courts. Nobody should have to pay for the use of the park. Because what happens if they start charging a fee to enter a public park of, say, 10, and then they say, you know what, we're going to make it 20 quid, and then 100 quid, and then 1,000 quid to access the park. Only the really rich people are going to be able to enjoy the parks with their kids, and all the poor people are going to be on the outside of the park looking in through the railing. It's not going to be fair. They say, well, why can't we access that public park? Well, you know, they make it too expensive for us to go there anymore. So, you know, we'll stay out here and play in the gutter. We'll play out here in the street.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'll tell you, so like I've always said it, Carl. Remember the film Demolition Man? It had Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock in it. And it was, well, I can't remember what year it was. It was over 20 years ago. It was like, howdy, howdy, have a nice day. And all cars were driving around themselves. And you had the underworld popping up with little periscopes to try and get scraps of food and stuff. People were cryogenically frozen. I just didn't remember that film. And this is over 20 years ago. And that's exactly the way it's going.
Yeah, but like I said, it's going to be... right, and like I said, if
unless we unite together and stand up and actually repel this, because I can foresee the future. I mean, it's not bright, and I don't want it. It's not what I want for my kids and my future.
It's just like when we went over to England when I went to there last week or whatever it was, and it was funny when we got done doing what we were doing. We were talking to the practice masters after 4:30, and everybody started to, you know, we got up. When you leave, you're right there by the front door. Yeah. And everybody's saying like Bali, oh, come on, let's go. You know, they went to make a left, which was like 10 steps to the left. We're outside. I said, no, I'm going to do 1,000 steps deeper into the building. I'm not leaving until I'm damn good and ready. I said, you know what? I don't care that they said this building is closed and everybody leave. No, you know what? I'm going this way. I'm going the opposite way of the exit door. Well, it's closed. Maybe it's closed for you, but it's not closed for me.
Got it. Come on, you
know, so what I basically did is what you call like an occupy. So we stayed there until about 6:30, 7 o'clock. We all went to, you know, walked into an. I showed them where the Queen's Bench building is, where the Queen's Bench Appellate Division is, and the Queen's Bench Appeal Division is, and we just hung around there until 6:30, 7 o'clock. And I said, okay, you know what? That's enough. Let's leave. And then they went to leave through the side door. And I said, Bali, no, we're not leaving through no effing side door. We're leaving through the effing front door. We're going to stick it in their face. Would the Queen leave through a side door? No. She'd walk right back out through the damn front door. And she'd make a spectacle. And I said, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make a spectacle of this. We're going to have 50 people walking through this great hall, taking photographs after hours, 6, 7 o'clock at night. And saying, you know what, we're leaving. We're leaving when, you know, we feel like it. Now we feel like leaving, we're leaving. And we're going through the front door. And that's what I was trying to tell these people. I was trying to show these people, and you people better start, you know, I'm trying to make you folks understand, I don't give a effing damn that they said the building's closed at 4:30, 5 o'clock. You got business, use it. Access it. You know, make them open the damn door. Occupy it. And say, this is a public effing building. I'm not going to cause any harm or any damage. If I do, I know what the penalty is. I go to jail. And then I got to pay compensation. But just because I'm public doesn't mean I'm a pig or I'm some crazy animal that can't control himself and I'm just going to tear this building up and that's why you need to throw me out. No, I know how to behave. Just like the Queen of England was here in this building, you wouldn't throw her out. She could stay here all effing day and night. And you wouldn't have armed guards walking around with her. You say, the Queen's like, I want to be left alone. You know, I'll leave when I wish to leave. Thank you for, if I need you, I'll call you. You're a public servant. I'm the public. I'll call you when I need you. Don't follow me around like a shadow. I got this. And you guys got to have to start commanding respect for yourselves instead of acting like a mob. You're just saying, I got this. We've got this. We're not pigs. We're not dogs. We're not animals. We're not going to tear this place up. We're going to act, courteous, just like the Queen of England was here. We're going to act just like she is going to act. We're going to walk, talk, laugh, joke. We're not going to cause any harm or injury to this building. Nobody's going to accrue a loss. And we're going to act like, a man. And we're going to act like and we'll leave when we're damn good and ready.
What masters did you say? Who was up there? Who was up there when you was there? Who was he talking to? Which ones?
I don't know. Bali might know the guy's name because I couldn't care less what the guy's name was. I think it was like Kennedy.
I couldn't remember his name either.
But I thought his name was like Kennedy or something. I thought it was like more like an Irish name.
I've been up there, seen quite a few of them. There's cook, master, deputy master, McLeod, which is one that's done more paperwork.
I wish I got to talk to this really tall, goofy-looking guy that Bali said,
Bailey Reid.
Yeah, Bailey Reid.
Bailey Reid, yeah, he works down in the admin office, doesn't he? He's all right actually, but Joe, the first time we went up there, when we was up there on the looking on the treasure map, I was the one to put a picture on the map. So whereabouts was it? Where was the room? That Bailey Reid. When the first time I talked to him, I was talking about Queen's Bench. Do you know when you talk to someone, you look square in the eyes? Your eyes are a gateway to your soul. You can't fucking lie. And I've looked at him, and he's like, no, there's no Queen's Bench. And he's like, you look at someone, and he sent us on a wild goose chase. We went to go and see practice. The master is Leslie, which is the senior master. Then, because there was a few of us up there, and it was all new, it was a bit of an adventure. They sent us down to, is it 47, where you go into another room. And they knew, they was expecting us to go down there. We just got moved around the courthouse. But Bailey knows, he knows the run of the building, but like you just said, Carl, they're not going to give us, we're 99% sure, he's not going to give us the 1%. You're right, but that Bailey is, he's obviously, he knows what the score is, the same as you do.
Yeah, if you guys ask me a question, I can't hear it because the air compressor was on. But no, what I'm trying to say with you guys is, like I said, I've seen some videos over there in England where people in Liverpool, like say like a Neil Heffy, they got like a boxing club and they're getting ready to, confront, the Crown violently. They were all practicing all kinds of weightlifting and all kinds of nonsense. They actually live for that kind of stuff. They figure the best way to do it is just knock heads, and like I said, I see some other people who are trying to occupy the courthouses over there, and they're like jumping on the tables or jumping on the benches. It's like, an old man jumping on a bench. I was watching the video. It looked kind of funny. This big old little heavy guy jumping up on the bench saying that they're taking over the courthouse. It's like, man, that's like mob rule. That's like watching the French Revolution. The French the trials. It's like everybody's just bringing it.
At the end of the day, we're all human beings. They're just doing their job. It's just ways of going about things, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah, but like I said, when you watch the old French Revolution movies, like anybody who was of the peerage, anybody who was of nobility, they were just dragged before the crowd, and the crowd was all sitting there eating barbecue chicken, laughing, joking, getting drunk in the courthouse, and just saying everybody dies. I don't want, like I said, I've seen some video on YouTube with an old man doing that in England, jumping up on top of the bench, arresting judges, all this kind of crazy stuff. And I'm like, look, this ain't going to get it. You're going to have to get along with these people. Somehow you're going to have to find a happy middle. But by jumping up and down, violent. Like when we went to the Crown, when we went to the Royal Courts of Justice, I mean, we videotaped us walking around after hours, and and I guarantee there's video cameras every square inch of that building. I guarantee they were watching us like a hawk.
There is.
Yeah, but we weren't doing anything. We weren't doing anything destructive. No. We weren't jumping on tables. We weren't doing anything crazy. We were just, talking and saying this is what we should do next, and this is how we do it this way, and this is how we have to start, getting paperwork through the courts. And I guarantee they were videotaping and watching us like crazy.
No, yeah, I was walking around the building for over 40 minutes. I was followed by security guards left, right and centre. I found myself other side of buildings because I was looking for this. I was convinced there was a separate little courtroom, Queen's Bench. I understand it isn't that sort of situation now. Because, I mean, any court is Queen's Bench. It's going to be your court. It's what you make it. But I was convinced there was another room somewhere. I was looking for 40 minutes. I was up in these little turrets and these little single little stairwells. I was in these nooks and crannies, these places you couldn't even get to. And I remember coming out past these double glass doors, and the two security guards were standing the other side. They knew where he was, but I ended up in places where they couldn't even get access to. But then we went from there to another stairwell and bumped into the same two security guards again. So what you're saying is right. There's cameras all over there. Just so you can't see them, they are there.
Yeah, but like I said, when we went to Crown and we went to the Royal Courts of Justice, when we went there, me and Bolly went in to talk to the practice master. Now, the other 50 people wanted to come in there with us. But I said, don't be crazy. It'll be like a mob, and the guy gets scared out of his mind, and he won't want to talk to any of us. So let me and Bolly just go in there and let us ask this man some very simple questions. You know, and what was funny is when I got up to leave, I said to the man, he's like, well, it's 4:30, it's time to go, da-da-da-da-da. I said, yeah, that's fine. That's lovely. I said, but you know what? I figured that me and Bolly should come in here because we could talk, fairly calmly to you. I said, because there's about 50 people out in the hallway who would have just loved to sit in here and ask you these same questions. And you can see like his eyes like what, 50 people? It's like, yeah, there's 50 people outside waiting. They could come to hear these answers that I'm going to come back out there with. And next time we come, it might be 100 or 200 or 500 or 1,000.
Yeah.
People want to know. These people want answers. They had enough of this. They want answers. And that's what I said to the people when I left London. I said to them, look, you people, I don't know how many people live here in London. I don't know if it's 5 million, 6 million, 20 million. I don't know how many people you got here in London. Why don't you people start going down there like two at a time and putting 100 people out in the hallway, and 2 people go talk to the practice master.
Yeah.
And then it's time 500 people come down there and let the 2 people that you think are the most go down there and the practice master. And let the practice master know that there's 500 people outside in this great hall that are waiting for this answer, that these 2 people are coming here to ask you these questions. And he'd be like, what? It's like, yes, take a look outside. There's 500 people waiting for me to come out with some answers. So here's a very simple question, Mr. Crown Practice Master. When we believe a member of the Crown has done us wrong, what court other than a Crown Court can a man of England seek compensation or redress? Say that's the answer we want to know.
Yeah.
And let him say, there is no other court, so when a Crown official does you wrong, you got to go in front of the Crown, and the Crown will decide whether the Crown official did you wrong, and no, you're not going to get any other form of justice in England other than Crown justice. It's like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to go outside and tell 500 people that you just told them.
Yeah.
Too bad. There's only one court, Crown Court. If a Crown cop rapes you, you take him to a Crown Court, and his Crown buddies will let him go. That's okay. The Crown steals people's children, and the Crown officer who touched my property, took my child, he's not going to get in trouble because the Crown's going to cover his ass. That's okay. We were just wondering, because there's 500 people outside who want to come here and ask you this. So either we can have 500 come in here and ask you the same damn question, or I'll just go outside and tell them that you basically told them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And once they start realizing there's 500 people, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people outside asking the same damn question, then they'll say, holy shit, we got to do something about this. Right now it's just me and Bolly and 50 people, which was great because Bolly only gave them a week's notice that I was even coming, if they even gave them a week. So it was great that 50 people showed up. But like I said, you people are going to get, just get this very simple concept. You just do 1, 2 sentences, 1, 2 questions you want to present to the courts. Where does a man get redress when a Crown has done something wrong? When a Crown officer, a Crown magistrate, a Crown official has done something wrong? And don't tell me Crown Court. Any other answer but Crown Court. If I hear Crown Court coming in, I'm going to laugh. This crowd behind me, 500,000 people, they want to hear something other than a Crown Court. If you don't have something other than Crown Court, guess what? These 500 people, 1,000 people, we're going to create our own courts in this public building. We're going to put in court clerks. We're going to access this court. We're going to close at 4:30? Good. We're going to open it up at 4:35. And we're going to keep this court going until midnight. and we're going to conduct the people's business. If you don't want to conduct people's business, if you only want to conduct Crown business, conduct your Crown business from 9 to 5, and we'll take over from there, from 5 to midnight. We'll take this building over, and we'll occupy it. Just like Bali said, it's funny. He says the Royal Courts of Justice lets everybody walk around the building once a year and check out all the rooms. And I said to Bali, why don't you go down there? What day was that, Bali? Hey, Bali, you there? He might be sleeping.
Carl, honestly, I appreciate your time, respect your time, and your information. I'm naive to this. I'm new to this. So basically, the Queen's benches. You don't, when you're going against Crown, you don't have any of the Crown officials, none of the masters, none of the practice masters that are involved in your case. You appoint your own people to have your own court in it, or do they have to be involved?
What I'm saying is the Crown magistrates and the Crown judges are competent to hear matters in common law. They are competent to hear matters before Queen's bench. They are competent. They are trained. They do know how to do that.
Yeah, but they're biased. But what it's saying is they're basically biased because they're getting paid by the same person. That's paying this person that you actually put a claim against.
Yeah. But this is what I'm trying to say, is when we went to the Royal Courts of Justice, there's one day a year that any man or woman could walk into like all the rooms of the Court of Justice. So I said to Bali, why don't you get your friends down there to London on the 22nd or the 24th or 28th? The man told us, the security guard said, you could come and tour the whole entire building. You could check out all the rooms. I said, why don't you find some empty rooms? Why don't you go 6 miles of hallways? I said, there's got to be a couple of empty rooms. I said, go find a room, like a room 703. Room 703 is empty. Make a claim for that room. Say nobody's using that room? No, nobody's using that room. Good. We're going to set up a clerk's office there, and we're going to set up the People's Court. And we're going to start running Queen's Bench out of room 703. It's a public building. The Crown got all the other buildings, all the other rooms. Is anybody using room 703? No, then we're going to use it. It's just like a park. So the Boy Scouts are occupying 90% of the park. Well, they left this little swing and this little slide that they're not using, so I'm going to use the swing and the slide. It's that simple. So that's what I said to Paul. He's like, wow. He said that you could walk around the whole entire building like once a year, one day of the year, and you could check out all the rooms. He's like, yeah. I said, well, great. Bring your little group of 50 or 100 people back down here. And
go to all the nooks and crannies and find the room that sits you.
Find some empty courtrooms. Find a courtroom that hasn't been open for 200-300 years. Yeah. Find a room next to it. Find it. And just say this is a public building, and the public is going to start holding the People's Court here. We have Crown Court. Good. We're going to start the People's Court here.
Fuck it. Stick in a broom cupboard if there's a fucking room.
Yeah. Right. I don't care if it's a broom closet. It's the only room they got available. I said start your damn, start to occupy these public buildings a little at a time. Start doing the People's Court. Makes that simple. It's like, there you go. Then you say, what do we need a People's Court for? It's like, well, I say anybody on the Crown side is causing harm to man or trespassing on man's right by kicking in their door under Section 23 or 28. You know what? We're going to have a court to fucking bring that man in and say, why did you put a bullet in that Jewish baby's head? All on kind of Section 28 means we can. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, you know what? You're still liable to man. You're still liable to the people, and you will pay for the crimes.
Yeah, you want to get your ass in the broom cupboard, mate, because you're going to get it.
All right. You can only do it so long. Just because these Crown officials are making all these crazy Section 23s, 28s, whatever the hell you said.
Yeah, it's bullshit, yeah.
Right, just because they wrote it doesn't mean that you're not going to be liable, because when you came to my house, you broke a 10,000-year-old Ming vase that cost $1 billion, and I want compensation. It's like, well, no, under Section 28, we can break anything we want. Oh, really? You know what? You're still going to be held liable to your fellow man. And so that's what I'm saying to these folks all over the country, and I say on the radio all over the world, that you folks are going to have to start occupying these public courthouses, and that's why I always say, why the people in the United States, I really don't want to deal with people in the United States.
Totally agree with you, mate. We're too complacent over here.
It's not as bad, believe it or not, man, in England as it is in the United States. You guys are so much further ahead of us than the United States people. U.S. people, you talk about complacent. USA people, they're the most complacent animals on planet Earth.
Oh,
They'll
no,
tolerate so much. No, you English people, no. You people actually get involved. I do seminars over there. The places are always packed.
There's a few individuals over here. The majority of the country are very
That's
disturbed.
right.
You go first. You go first.
Every place I went was packed. I'll put the pictures of the people who were at my meeting on the end of my website. It looks like a UNICEF, like a UN UNICEF Christmas card of like all the nations of the earth. I mean, even a gay guy was standing next to me. I mean, you had these blacks, Indians, you had all kinds of people, little people, big people, you had white people, you had all kinds of people who came to these things. It was incredible. So like I said, it's not just like some rebel-rousing, crazy white man convention, like, oh, we're going to, all become, kick-ass, we're all going to become militant. Like over here in this country, you got like that crowd. You got that crowd that's all a bunch of white guys running around with rifles saying that we're going to, take over the courthouses violently. So the people I attract are the people who look like a UNICEF greeting card. When people all over the world are just like, no, we don't want violence. We just want to get these problems. We want to get some sort of solution, some sort of answers that are nonviolent. Because believe me, if I was violent, England would kick me out in a heartbeat. They wouldn't let a violent guy. You've seen what they do to anybody who says anything hateful over there about somebody. They throw those people out of the country so fast, it's not even funny. But the Crown officials like, nope, you know what? He's saying, okay, people say the Crown is evil, tyrants, horrible. Okay, fine. They are. They're doing a great job at it. Okay, now you've been doing a great job of standing up as a man and combating the evil? No. Well, good. Let the evil keep winning then. Don't do anything about it and just sit there and suck your thumb and take it. Or you people have to learn how to say, no, we're not going to take this anymore, and this is how it's going to go from here on. We're going to find a happy middle somewhere.